What's going on, YouTube? Back out here in the yard doing things again, and it's again for my truck. This time we're going to do a little upgrade here, if you want to call it an upgrade. I've got these pretty awesome looking fender flares here. They were pretty darn cheap, so if they line up perfectly, then I'm going to be pretty happy about this. But I mocked them up a little bit already, and I think I'm already going to have some problems. But this is what they look like when they come. They are this rivet style. They've got the rivet holes right through there and everything. Looks pretty awesome. You don't have to drill those in. You don't have to drill holes in the side. Ironically, these things are held by one here on the inner fender well, two bolts that you reuse, or no, two bolts they give you, two bolts you reuse, two bolts on the other side, and two clips up top. That's the only thing holding the whole thing on. So 6 fasteners total. I got this giant bag of screws here. You can see these are my little rivets here for in there. They are just screwed right in, bolted on, I mean, and that's it. Pretty straightforward. You get this nice little rubber strip here. It's this stuff right here, and you can see, whoop, it's split in the center, so you just kind of wrap that around the plastic edge that protects your paint for whenever it's rubbing. And yeah, so alright, well this was already the hardest part, was putting in every single one of those bolts and putting on the weather stripping and then cutting it and all that stuff without cutting your finger, blah blah blah. So other than that, looks pretty straightforward. Looking like my mud flaps here are going to have to come off because they totally get in the way. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to put them back on. I possibly can, actually, now that I'm looking at it, so we'll see how that goes. So, alright, let me get started. I got to put all these rivets into these guys, throw the weather stripping on there, and start taking things apart. Alright, and now we're back. Got the fender flares mounted on the truck. They look okay. I'm not very impressed. I didn't record any of it because well, it would have been just straight up profanity for a day and a half. I started this yesterday. I didn't finish it till today. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out which one. The front are obvious to tell which side they are, but this rear, you can't really tell. The only way I can tell is it looks like it's got like a fender flare wider back end than it does the front end. This one did not fit at all. As you can see, I've got this indentation. It doesn't fit. It's too low right there. I tried to raise it up, but as you can see, it's tight with the body. It was just made wrong. That's one of my complaints about this. None of the holes lined up on the inside. Actually, grab one of these thingies I was going to talk about. None of these holes lined up. None of the stuff that they provided worked. They gave me, if I can get these out, they gave me these little clips. And, you know, they're just clips. Well, the top of the fender well here is supposed to meet up with that, and then this clip slips on, like so, but that is nowhere near fitting. So I ended up just drilling 2 holes and putting in some bolts that I had to get from the local box store. Other than that, the front of it up here almost lines up pretty good. But this is the rear one I don't really like. The front one, right over here, not too bad. Lines up pretty good. I gotta fix this weather stripping or rubber there. Got a gap right down here. Not very happy about that. But overall, it went on. It used all the bolts that were already on the truck, so I didn't have to buy any new ones, all 3, all the way around. So that was very cool. The one thing I don't like is how wide they are. If you look, like, the tires are nowhere near filling out the wheel well there, but when we change tires, hopefully it'll have a little better effect. One thing I will say about this, they would be way cooler if I went with like a 6-inch or at the very least like 2 or 3-inch lift. That way I could jack it up, put bigger tires on it. As long as the tires were filling out the wheel wells, they would be kind of cool, but they're kind of filling out the old wheel wells. Now I have this extra, what the heck is that, like 3 inches, 2 inches, something like that. Way bigger than I thought. This side, I'm actually pretty happy with. If you can see, they line up really good. This one, it's not perfect. You can see there's a little gap right there, but lined up almost perfect. The holes on the inside lined up almost perfect. I really like that. I did drill 2 more holes yet again. And again, you can see it's got a far way of making it in there. There's no way those clips were going to work. It is just the fender well, so I'm not very worried about it. And I'm going to ride around with them on. These are unpainted. They're just like flat black or bright shiny black or whatever. I'm going to drive around with it and see if they shift and stuff like that. Maybe they'll settle in or something like that. I don't think they will, but who knows. But I'm going to see if I like them. And yeah, I don't know. If I do, maybe I'll pull them off and paint them flat black like I painted the rims. And maybe I won't. One other thing, you can see it's missing right here. And it's missing right here. This was my awesome little name badge, and as you can see, I did painted in with some black marker there because the letters were coming off. But now nobody will know I have a 5.7 liter, so maybe people want to race and think I have a V6. Anyway, that's the end of this step here. The fender flares are on. Like I said, not very impressed with them, but I'm going to keep them on there just for now. Possibly pull them off and paint them, possibly just pull them off and sell them. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I guess I forgot to mention this in the beginning. The main thing that I was trying to do was, I'm sure you could see it at the beginning, there was some messed up paint down there. This was the tire that fell off, if you caught that story, and it just messed up the entire wheel well. Again, this was the hardest fender to get on, so, I mean, some of that might have been, well, I would say some of that is would be the problem, but none of the holes, I mean, all of them were pretty much, you had to put all of your body weight on this thing, pushing in as hard as you can just to get holes to line up. So I don't think you should be having to do that much. A little bit, yes, but not all that. But anyway, this was my fixing up my truck video, and that's another step done. I can't remember. I think I said 5 steps. I don't know. It might be 6 or something like that. But this is all phase 1. Possibly get to phase 2. So if you like the video and everything, throw me a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can come back and check out what else I've got going on. Probably growing some plants. Anyway, that was it from me. That was step number 2 here, and now I gotta get started on more steps. So don't forget to do all that fun happy social media stuff down below. I will catch y'all in the next video. Till then, later. Alrighty, here we are. Hang on, damn it. Wait 1 second. Billy. Here. Got it. Set it. Okay. Alrighty, and we're back. As you can see, the wind picked up. Great. Hang on a second. Picking it up on the camera. It's picking it up on my ears. Alright, let's try to make a run. Alright. And another wind gust. And it was a high one. Try to make a run. And